2020 is shaping up to be a year like no other, with the ongoing pandemic leaving its mark on every sphere of our lives. But apparently, there is no slowing down for Apple's new product cycle. It's only May, and we have already seen Apple launch a refreshed 13-inch MacBook Pro, long-rumored iPhone SE 2020, the new iPad Pro, and a MacBook Air with an improved keyboard. Apple also fake updated the Mac Mini by doubling the base storage. But it's certainly not where Apple will stop this year. Apple is also expected to release a refreshed 16-inch MacBook Pro, new iPhone 12 series phones, and Apple Watch Series 6 as well. We have a video on our channel explaining how and why 2020 is the perfect time to get into Apple's ecosystem. If you haven't seen that video, then you should watch it first from the top right corner or get the link from the description. If you have watched this video and thinking to dip your toes into Apple's magical world, or just generally thinking to get an Apple device, then this video will be your guide to the best Apple devices that you can get. Hey everyone, I'm Chaser and you're watching Tech Square. Before getting into details, consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already and press the bell icon to get notified for our next video. Apple has either updated or refreshed almost all of its product lineup since last year. Previously, Apple's MacBook devices had a lot of overlap between them when it comes to pricing. And it seems Apple has finally managed to properly segment all of their machines to a target market and use case without much price overlap with the release of the new MacBook 13-inch Pro. Although there have been rumors circulating about 14-inch MacBook Pro that is supposed to replace the 13-inch variant, similar to what we have seen in the case of 15-inch MacBook Pro being replaced by 16-inch MacBook Pro. However, that rumor is yet to come true as Apple just released refreshed MacBook Pro 13-inch. Although much hasn't changed in the new device except for the new Magic Keyboard with replacement of the butterfly keyboard that Apple was clinging so much onto. With that, Apple has finally gotten rid of the problematic butterfly keyboard from all of their product lineup. There is also the redesigned touch bar, which now has separated the escape key and the fingerprint reader. The fingerprint reader is also gotten a little bit bigger. The new 13-inch MacBook Pro is actually two devices, an 8th-gen Intel Core i5 processor with two Thunderbolt 3 ports, while the other is equipped with the newer and much faster Intel 10th-gen Core i5 processor with 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports and faster RAM. The devices come with Intel Iris Plus graphics to handle graphics-intensive workloads. From the spec, this may not feel like the most powerful device, however, the 10th-gen processor variant is just powerful enough to take some load, making it an amazing choice for people who want a portable device and still want some power in it. Although for full-blown graphics designing and video editing workflow, this is not the ideal device. For that kind of workload, the 16-inch MacBook Pro 2019 is the ultimate choice that comes in a slimmer and the lightweight form factor. The 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro is equipped with Intel's 9th-gen Core i7 or Core i9 processor coupled with AMD Radeon Pro 5300M and Radeon Pro 5500M respectively. You can configure the device with either 32GB or 64GB RAM and up to 8TB of storage. Now this is a formidable device with powerful internals capable of taking a load off your most graphics-intensive workflow in a smaller form factor. However, if you do not want that kind of power, the 13-inch MacBook Pro is a good middle ground. And if you don't even require that kind of power and simply want a laptop that is portable and capable of handling your day-to-day tasks like checking up emails, browsing the internet, and working on Word documents, then the perfect choice for you would be the new MacBook Air. The new MacBook Air is a 13.3-inch notebook equipped with Intel's 10th-gen processor with a choice between Core i3 or Core i5 processor and up to 16GB of configurable RAM. All three MacBook devices have a pretty great display, good battery life, and great speakers for laptops. This is a place I have to give some credit to Apple, as they have equipped all of their devices with impressive quality speakers that give a good amount of bass that you would be able to feel. Apart from that, the microphones in those devices are studio quality, offering great and clear audio to the person on the other side while you're on the video call. Now, the question is, which device is for home and which one should you get? If you're a student who needs a compact device that you can carry with you everywhere and will mostly use the device to check your email, do some internet browsing, research, watch YouTube, Netflix, and need to do some basic productivity tasks like working on Word documents, PowerPoint, and stuff like that, then the new MacBook Air is the perfect choice for you. If you're still a student but in need of a little bit power than what MacBook Air is capable of giving, or if you're a professional who doesn't require a whole lot of power yet needs to finish some projects occasionally on the go, then the 13-inch MacBook Pro with Intel's latest 10th-gen processor is the way to go for you. And just as I have mentioned earlier, the 16-inch MacBook Pro 2019 is for full-on professionals such as graphic designers, video editors who want a powerful and formidable device yet compact enough to carry around in places with you. But I would caution you before going out and buy the 16-inch MacBook Pro, as we are only a few months away from getting the new and updated 16-inch MacBook Pro, and if you can, then should wait for the device to land. Now that we are done with the MacBooks, let's talk about Apple's more popular device, the iPhone. Before going into details of the flagship models, let's talk about a device that was teased for so long. Yes, we are talking about the iPhone SE. Apple's original iPhone SE wasn't extremely popular due to its palm-friendly footprint and easy-to-wallet price tag. And after more than a year of rumors, speculations, and leaks, that palm-friendly device is back with the same moniker after 4 years later. Before getting into detail, I'll give you 2 reasons why I think the iPhone SE 2020 is one of the best value Apple devices right now. A13 Bionic chipset and a $399 price tag. Yes, this is a budget phone that comes with the might and power of a flagship device, and not just any flagship but last year's iPhone 11. The device has a 4.7-inch Retina LCD IPS panel, Touch ID, single rear camera on the back, big ugly bezel on the forehead and chin. There is also no Face ID unlock and as usual no headphone jack. But if you can, just stop comparing the device to its flagship counterparts and appreciate its compact pocketable size, flagship level firepower under the hood and decent camera performance despite having a single camera at $399, the iPhone SE is surprisingly good value. And if you are considering a budget-friendly way into Apple's ecosystem or just looking to buy a secondary phone, then the iPhone SE is a more affordable smartphone with great power. Since we are on the topic of the iPhone, let's talk about the upcoming iPhone 12 series. The iPhone 12 series is still several months away to be announced, but there are so many leaks and rumors already about those phones. Rumor has it that the iPhone 12 series will have 4 new models: a 5.4-inch iPhone 12, 2 6.1-inch iPhone 12 Max and iPhone 12 Pro models, and a massive 6.7-inch iPhone 12 Pro Max model. The iPhone 12 Pro models are expected to come with triple camera module with the LiDAR sensor that we have seen on the iPad Pro. We have several videos on the iPhone 12 leaks and rumors, and we are going to make another video on the full iPhone 12 series. So be sure to subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to get notified when that video drops. Anyways, if you're in need of a phone kinda right now and don't have the luxury to wait, then the iPhone 11 series phones are pretty great and amazing as well. Sure, the phones have ugly notch on the top, but they're still very reliable, offers great power and performance thanks to A13 Bionic chip, has a stunning display, great camera and video features. Starting at $699, the iPhone 11 is the best value in my opinion among 3 models. While the iPhone 11 Pro Max is the ultimate power with all the new and amazing features and a massive 6.5-inch display if you don't mind spending the green, but the iPhone 11 Pro is also a great option with a smaller screen and a reasonable price tag starting from $999. Next up, we have got a new iPad Pro. This has brought some surprising updates and pretty exciting features. Although many are complaining about the hardware specs, but the spec is still quite good. The iPad Pro is equipped with A12Z Bionic chip, which is basically 2 years old chip with 1 additional GPU core. Even though it seems like a pretty minor upgrade, but this iPad Pro is insanely fast and capable. Apart from that, the 2020 iPad Pro has 1 additional secondary camera added to it, and there is a new LiDAR sensor on the camera module. Now, if you mostly scan documents and do FaceTime every now and then, a better camera spec may not make much sense to you and you'd be left wondering, does this iPad really needs a good camera? Not really, but it seems Apple is really focused on augmented reality with its LiDAR sensor right now. Although this sensor does very little as of yet, but in my opinion, Apple just wanted to put the hardware out there so that developers can start working on it, as the hardware eventually jump its way to the iPhone 12 series later this year. Apple also added external mouse support to the iPad, and there is a new Magic Keyboard. Now, the Magic Keyboard is great, and Apple made the keyboard backward compatible with the 2018 iPad Pro. This is pretty great for Apple to do that. The keyboard features Apple's Magic Trackpad as well, since Apple added mouse support to iPadOS. Having additional input method is always a welcome addition, and many have been asking Apple to do that feature on the iPad, which Apple finally paid attention to. The iPad Pro is also capable of shooting, editing, sharing 4K videos, and has an edge-to-edge liquid retina display that is not only gorgeous but impressive as well. iPad Pro comes in 11-inch and 12.9-inch display versions. If you need extra screen real estate and replace your laptop with iPad Pro now, then the iPad has mouse support, then 12.9-inch at $1,000 can be a good option for you. But for me, the 11-inch iPad Pro at $799 makes more sense and offers good value. Since we are on the topic of iPad, let's talk about iPad Air. The iPad Air is a weird device to suggest, as at $500, this device sits between the $800 iPad Pro and $330 iPad. The iPad is still a great product. Sure, it doesn't have the laminated screen, but it still is the same Retina display, which is only 0.3 inches smaller than the iPad Air. And the SoC is A10 on the iPad, which is a bit outdated but still feels lightning fast. So at $330, it is one of the best value Apple devices in my opinion. But if you want a device that you can use for several years, then you may consider going for the iPad Air, as I think the iPad will feel outdated in about a year or so. But iPad Air hasn't been updated much for so long and looks kinda oldish. And since Apple is cleaning up the house, there is a possibility of a new and redesigned iPad Air. Although there is already rumors circulating about the new iPad and iPad mini with bigger display are imminent. We'll talk about them in a separate video. Anyways, even though Apple released a new iPad mini in 2019 with a price tag of $399, but it has the same resolution, form factor, Touch ID of the iPad mini 2 from 2013. Really, the only thing Apple updated other than the laminated screen is the SoC, which is A12 chip, just like the iPad Air. So without many words, I can simply recommend the iPad mini. While the iPad Air seems a great option, but the iPad is the best value option at $330. Since we're done with the iPad, let's go back to Macs. The Mac Pro is an absolute beast when it comes to power, performance, and capability. But the Mac Pro also comes with a hefty price tag of $6,000 for the base model. The base model has 8-core Intel Xeon W processor, 32GB of RAM, and mere 256GB of SSD storage. On the graphics side, you get AMD Radeon Pro 580X graphics card. This is insane level of power for any individual user. So the Mac Pro is not for any average user, and it is very heavy on the price. While the base model iMac Pro is only $1,000 less than the Mac Pro and comes with gorgeous 5K display, 1TB SSD, 32GB RAM, and 8-core Intel Xeon W processor. There is also AMD Radeon Pro Vega 56 graphics card on this workstation class PC. But even with the spec, the iMac Pro is frequently outbenched by the regular iMac in certain workloads. So even though iMac Pro is another formidable and powerful device, it needs a little bit of reimagining. Meaning, the regular iMac is another great offering from Apple. However, I'm pretty shocked that Apple is offering their base iMac with 7th generation dual-core Intel Core i5 processor and 1080p resolution for display. For just $200 more, you can get the 8th generation quad-core Intel Core i3 processor and Retina 4K display, which is atrocious and absolutely unacceptable. At the 27-inch side, you'll get 5K Retina display, configurable the device with up to 9th generation 6-core Intel Core i5 processor, 64GB of RAM, 2TB of Fusion Drive or SSD storage, and Radeon Pro 580X GPU. Another thing that is unacceptable in that regular iMac is its Fusion Drive. It's 2020 and a device like Mac has a spinning drive for storage is pathetic. But other than that, I can't complain much on the iMac with its performance and power. It doesn't require much attention like its Pro sibling. However, bit slimmer design and thinner bezel would not hurt anyone. Since we are on the topics of Macs, we only have the Mac Mini left. The Mac Mini was just fake updated by Apple in March. The storage was doubled to 256GB, but it still uses the same 8th generation Intel Core processors. Price to performance is not that good, so getting that Mac Mini may not worth your time at all. So I guess we only have the Apple Watch, AirPods, Apple TV 4K, and HomePods left. I'll just cover them as fast as I can. When it comes to smartwatch, the Apple Watch is the best on the market and nobody is even close to the feature and reliability it offers. Compared to WatchOS, Google's Wear OS, it is a joke, and Apple Watch is getting better and coming with new and improved features every year. The AirPods are expensive without any doubt, but they offer decent quality sound, noise cancellation, and stable connectivity. They may not be the best in the market, but they're reliable and just works all the time. Meanwhile, the Apple TV 4K is certainly one of the best 4K streaming devices out there, but it is also quite expensive, and other cheaper devices from Roku and others offer similar picture quality and capabilities. And about the HomePods, there isn't much to tell except the HomePods are still not good. And that's all I'm gonna say about the HomePods. So with that, we are at the end of our video. Thank you if you have stuck with us till the end. Hit the like if you like this video and share with your friends. If you want us to make more videos about every Apple device alternative, then let us know in the comment section below. Consider subscribing to our channel for more videos like this and press the bell icon to get notified for our next video.